voodoo.de.
Welcome back to Virtual Reality. My name is Thomas and you're watching VoodooDE VR. Here are the official FAQs from Sony for the coming PlayStation VR 2. And that's what we are going through in this video. So this is perhaps interesting for some people. Not everything we we already know. So there is a lot of new stuff, I would say. And yeah, there are some categories like overview, the headset, controllers, games, broadcasting and capture, and other stuff. So what we the overview, of course, we will pay like $550, 600 euro, or 530 pounds, depending on where you live, of course. 75,000 yen. And we have two options. The first one is the PlayStation VR 2. There is the headset included, the Sense controller, the stereo phones, and USB cable. Or you can buy the Call of the Mountain bundle. And of course, there is the game included here. And then they talk a little bit what's the difference between the two headsets, the PlayStation VR 1 and 2. Of course, for me, the most important thing is first the higher resolution, of course, and second, the much better tracking. So with the PlayStation VR 1, we had pretty bad tracking because it was based on light and on the PlayStation camera, and now there is inside-out tracking. That means we have included cameras inside the headset, and that tracks the environment, and that's much better. You can even have a 360 degrees tracking also with the controllers, and that's really nice. You will not be able to connect it to the PlayStation 4. This is not possible. Here's a nice comparison between the PlayStation VR 1 and 2. Yeah, you see there's much higher resolution here. It also has IPD adjustment, bigger field of view and stuff. Cool is that we only have one cable instead of all that other stuff from the PlayStation VR 1. Here's the tracking, what I meant. We don't have the PlayStation camera, we have the embedded cameras. And this is much easier to set up as well. We will have two different modes. The VR mode, where we can just play everything in 3D, room scale, and of course 360 degree. And we have a cinematic mode where we can just play on a flat screen, virtual floating in front of us. HDR is supported, of course. We will connect it with one USB-C cable, and that's really cool. The cable is 4.5 meters or 14.7 feet long. This is not too long, not so long, because I would say normally they are between 5 and 6 meters. So it's a little bit short, but I already know that we can make it longer, like with extension cable 1 to 2 meters. Not longer, then it could get problems. Minimum space is where, of course, when you sit there, you just need your chair. When you stand, you just need a little 1 by 1 meter. But when you want to play with the room scale area, move around and stuff, you should have like 2 by 2 meters. Yeah, 6.7 by 6.7 inches. Better. Can I customize the play area? Yes, you can choose wherever you want to play, just have enough space, and then you can scan with the PlayStation VR cameras. You can scan the environment and you can set up the room space automatically. That's crazy. We can also do your boundary manually, of course. See through. So when you wear the headset, you can use the PlayStation VR 2 cameras to see your real environment, to just get a drink or to see what's going on around you or some stuff. You need a well-lit room, so don't play in a dark room, then the cameras perhaps cannot track very good. You can broadcast your current view from your VR headset to your social media or also to your TV, so your friends can see what I do, what you do. You don't need a separate camera like with the PlayStation VR 1, so there's not a small camera that you have to point to the game area. Just everything is included in the headset itself. So you can use the camera for recording yourself while playing and doing cool videos. This is really nice. That's what could there could be some cool videos on YouTube after that. In the control center, you can switch between the PlayStation VR 2 and PlayStation 5 content. That should be really easy. You can receive, of course, there will be firmware updates or system updates for the PlayStation VR 2. You should always be on the newest one. You can, of course, pre-order the PlayStation VR 2. That's what I already did. Yeah, cleaning, you should be very careful with the lenses. So use a very soft dry cloth instead of no alcohol and stuff, of course. And be very careful with sunlight and the lenses, of course, as well. The output is 4K and the resolution is 2000 by 2040 per eye at up to 120 Hertz. This is much higher than the first PlayStation VR. There is a head strap, of course, where you can adjust it to every head size or most head size, I would say. You have IPD adjustment, so it depends on how far your eyes are. Between each other, you can choose that. It's very good. You can also wear glasses under the headset. That's no problem. Yeah, design improvement. Of course, it's lighter, it's easier to wear, it's more comfortable and all the stuff. At least they say that. I will do a review about the PlayStation VR 2, of course, and you will find that on my channel, and then I can tell you more about the comfort. So we have sensory features. So the headset itself has a rumble feature. No idea what we can do with that. We will see. And of course, the controllers have a rumble feedback and all that stuff. And we have eye tracking. So perhaps if you look in the upper right corner, then there is a user interface thing that will pop up so it can scan your eyes. Tiny symbols added to the PlayStation 5 console, whoever needs that. It has built-in microphone and a power button and unmute button or mute button. What I miss is volume buttons. Did they miss that here? I don't know. It has a headphone jack, of course. You can wear it as long as you can stand it, of course. Normally I play not longer than 2 hours in VR, but if you stand it, you can play longer. It's not for children under 12. You can move while wearing a PlayStation VR 2, of course, inside the area by 2 by 2 meters. But be careful when you get next to a real wall. There will be a grid, a virtual grid that warns you, do not go further. Otherwise, you will hit the real wall. And be aware of the cable, of course. Don't fall over your cable. The next thing is the controllers. So we have different buttons here. PlayStation button on the right controller, options button, action buttons, R1, R2, R3. The create button, other action buttons on the left controller, L1, L2, L3 buttons. We have motion sensors, 6 axis, so everything is tracked very exactly. Finger touch detection, infrared position tracking, crazy. We have a trigger feedback on the buttons and haptic feedback. A USB-C port to charge it and to do updates, of course, and battery and all that stuff. We have adaptive triggers on each controller, and that feels like a real trigger of a real weapon. We know that from the DualSense controller already. That's the same feature. We have also haptic feedback in the controllers where we can feel everything. Finger touch detection. And the tracking is, of course, much, much better than the old PlayStation VR. That's why you will not be able to connect the Move controllers or aim controllers to your PlayStation VR 2. It doesn't work. It's a complete other technique. It doesn't work. And it's better that it doesn't work because it's not good. So yeah, you can turn it on and off by pressing the PlayStation 5 button. You can sync the controllers by using the included cable, of course, then pressing the buttons. On the screen, you will see how much battery you have left in your controllers. There's a percentage and stuff. You can recharge it, of course, with the cables, but there's also a charging station where you can put the controllers on. I ordered that as well, and I will show it in the review of the headset. You can use the PlayStation VR controllers without a headset for other games, but I think that doesn't make so much sense. But it's possible. Accessibility option. Some games support only one controllers, but mostly you should really use both controllers. That's how it works. For now, you cannot buy the PlayStation VR 2 controllers separately. It doesn't work for now. Then the next section is PlayStation VR 2 games. I already showed that on my channel. We have a list here. So I will put this article in the description. You can check it out. And here's a link for the 30 games that will be released on the launch of the PlayStation VR 2. And there are also 100 titles in development as well. Looking forward to that. I will show them all on my channel, or at least as much as possible. There is, of course, a hint on every package or on the online shop if it will be supported by the PlayStation VR 2, the games. There will be upgrades. Some upgrades are for free for some older games, so you can play it with the PlayStation VR 2. And there are also some games that are compatible with PlayStation 4 and 5, so PlayStation VR 1 and 2. And some have even cross-play. There are also these activity cards for the PlayStation VR 2, depending on the title, of course. For the beginning, there will only be digital content to download from the PlayStation Store, but later there will be physical discs in the store. Can I play PlayStation VR 2 games without a headset? That doesn't really make sense. Don't do it. Just don't do it. This is what virtual reality is, the headset. Then for broadcasting and capture, you can record gameplay and screenshots directly from the game. So you hit the capture button from the controllers, and then you can record that stuff. You can also share the live view to social media or to a TV for broadcast. You can also record yourself. That's what I told you at the beginning. With the PlayStation 5 HD camera, you can film yourself while playing virtual reality. This is cool. Other stuff, the PlayStation VR 2 will shut off after 30 minutes if you don't use it. You can also shut down it manually with the power button. The user interface of the PlayStation VR 2 will be very similar to the PlayStation 5 user interface on the TV screen. There's not a big difference, and that's good. That's a good thing. For the first setup, you will need a TV. That's how you set up the PlayStation VR 2. But while playing with the PlayStation VR 2, you can switch off your TV if you don't need that. There are some accessibility features except for zoom, for example, color correction, invert color, and custom button assignment, and some additional options depending on the game. There is also a parental control in the PlayStation VR 2, and you can only connect one PlayStation VR 2 to a PlayStation 5. It just needs too much performance. You cannot connect two. And of course, it depends on the game. If you have to be connected to the internet. If you play multiplayer games, of course. and also for downloading the content. So that was the PlayStation VR 2 FAQs. So please subscribe to my channel. I will show you a very honest review about the PlayStation VR 2 hardware, and I will show you the games, as many as possible. And I'm really looking forward to the PlayStation VR 2. So guys, thank you for watching, subscribe, and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya!
VoodooDE